Hi. Just got out of the shower. Um, if I sound a little bit nasally, I guess it's because I just came out of the shower, so my nose is like blocked or something. I catch cold easily. Anyways, um, I am so bad at coming up with topics. I had one topic, I completely forgot what it was because recently what I've been doing is just talking and then putting the topic or like the title of the video later. But I want to do like, at least once. I want to just make a audio on a topic and then post it, like plan something. I had one topic, completely forgot about it. March 8th is coming, which is Women's Day. I have the thing planned where you name 100 women. I think I'll fail miserably, which is sad because I shouldn't fail at that. But it would be a learning opportunity at least. I already am thinking of like some women names and what to look up. So I'm not like looking anything up right now. Like one thing I know is I really want to look up the name of the first driver, which was a woman. Like the first driver period was a woman, and she was a wife of the creator of the car. And I want to look up her name, first computer programmer as well. So stuff like that. I had one topic that I did write down, but I need to stop writing. Let me bring my notebook. I need to stop writing topics or thinking of topics that are like very emotional, I guess, sort of. It's not like I don't like them, but it feels like that's the only thing I can think of. It's the the topic is fault of caring too much, fault in caring too much or whatever. Um, because and it's not about personal. Like I had I have had issues with caring too much, right? You care too much about someone who uh something happens and you can't care about them anymore, or they can't care about you anymore, right? But it's not just about that. It's like it's not just about my personal experience, but there is this person on Instagram. She's and this will be a little bit dark, so warning. um she's a comic book writer, and her younger brother passed away, I think 1.5 years ago or something like that. And if you go to her posts, if you go through her Insta timeline, for the past year all you'll see is just her grieving and dealing with the pain. She was really close to her brother, and to me that's such a it's one of the most brutal things I've seen someone go through, which is they love someone so much, right? And they are just gone. And that is, I don't know, it's just so weird that you care so much about someone and then something happens and you, for me, right? Like, on one hand, it would be easier to not care about them anymore. But on the other hand, the pain is sort of a proof that you did care about them and there was something to cherish, right? You feel the pain because there was something special, because there was something that you didn't want to lose. That when you did lose, now it's hurting you. I find it interesting. Not sure where I would go, or like what I would talk about it. Um, but yeah, here you go, I guess. I'm not sure what I am recording this for because, as I said, don't really have any topic in mind. Um, yeah, I'm not sure. Let's see. Have some emails that maybe I should answer or whatever. I'm just checking my messages and stuff. Um, I don't want to talk about AI again for some time because it feels like I've talked a lot about it, and now I really think I should talk about something else. I know I shouldn't have this like pressure or something of um having to talk about certain things or whatever. It's not a pressure, honestly. It's just like for my own sake. To me, it's so interesting that my gaming channel has much less subscriber than the main channel. Both of which, by the way, are like under 30. Yeah. This is going to be another like 5 minutes of nothing, I feel like. Um, what can I do? Yeah, I don't think I can really do anything. Let me see if I have something on my to do or to read list or something like that. Valorant is going on. I can talk about that. Valorant is the tournament is going on. The first matches happened yesterday. Excited for the next match. They're going to be pretty fun as well. Um, did I already mention this? I can't believe in the last one I said that I won't be sharing too much, and then I actually did end up sharing that um I'm on meds. But anyways, um, it feels weird to say that. Still, um, okay. Let's talk about this. So there's this dude called Rainbow, right? And you might have seen some clips or something where people are doing geoguessers, right? And they will look at like a sky or like look at a photo of just grass, and they will be like, oh, this place is Finland or something like that. Like they'll accurately tell the location of that place just by looking at what looks like nothing, right? What looks like just sky or something like that. And I was very curious because to me that seemed impossible, right? So I digged a little bit into it. And you might also have this thing that you have seen, right? And Rainbolt is one of the main guys who does this, which is he look at a photo, like he plays GeoGuessr, right? And sometimes you'll see like compilations of him looking at sky, just plain sky, and he'll be like, okay, this is Germany or something, and it'll be correct. So I looked into it. And what actually happens is, and in a way, I was correct that this is not true. Like, you can't just do that because they literally just not enough information, right? But what he's doing is essentially there are multiple factors into this. The main one is basically guessing, which is it's intelligent guessing, it's not random guessing, right? It's a combination of understanding that certain um areas in the world have different sort of camera types, so you can look at the camera quality of a photo and guess where that location might be. Now this might not be 100% correct, right? The other is just the flora and fauna, right? So you look at the trees and you guess. But the main thing is that what he does is, let's say over the course of a stream, right, he'll do 100 of these guesses, and he will make them look like very confident guesses even when he's purely guessing, right? And out of those 100, maybe let's say 4 or 5 will be correct, which is very reasonable, right? Because already they are pretty intelligent guesses. Out of those, some might be correct. What he does is, you can already tell, I'm pretty sure, but take those guesses and make a compilation out of them. Because some people who play GeoGuessr like competitively, they said that he is not even like top 10 player, right? He's not even that good. What he is doing, and this is according to top players, he is guessing basically. um I have never really liked this sort of stuff where people knowingly or even sometimes unknowingly will trick other people, right? Another example of this is that, what is that guy's name? I haven't thought about or talked about this guy in such a long time. Zach King, right? So Zach King, one of the biggest YouTubers, right? 42 million. He is so look at this, right? I post short magical videos, right? And he has been doing this for years, like literally years, decades, I would say. Let's actually see if he actually, yeah, 12 years ago. So he has done this for um over 10 years, right? And what his videos are, essentially, they are I'm just looking at them, so I'm stuttering a little bit, but they are basically edited video editing done on videos to make them look like magic tricks, right? And I want to be clear that magic trick is a magic trick. It doesn't really matter if you use video editing, if you use some gimmick prop, or if you use a sleight of hand, right? All of those are magic tricks. But I think there is something more less satisfying about a video edited magic trick. Like people don't like it as much, right? And again, his is more to do with camera tricks rather than video editing. Like I know I said video editing, but his thing is more to do with camera tricks, right? His later ones are, I think, very much video editing. Actually, I'll look at one of the later recent videos. So this one is I'm just sorting through popular, and there is one which is 3 years ago. So I'm just playing the video right now. Um, just to see if it is using VFX or not. So I'm specifically using the term VFX to make sure that we are talking about. Oh yeah, this is like honestly, it's not even that good. Like for today's standards, anyways. So this is 3 years ago. Yeah. So I'm sorry, I'm just like listening, but yeah, these are like cool videos. Don't get me wrong, right? Actually, let me read some of the comments as well. Before we had AI, we had Zach King. That's funny. Um, SCP alarm. Oh, interesting. Okay. Anyways, my point was that holy shit. See, some of these comments are just a spam. But okay, what I was saying is, um, the older ones were more to do with camera tricks. The newer ones are more video editing, right? VFX specifically. And there's something about us that I think people don't like that when you because it sort of makes it like okay, if it's video editing, then you can just do anything, right? So why should I care? Like it's like sort of a suspension of disbelief, but like too much. So you're like, okay, if you're doing this, then you can do anything. Like what is at this point it's just a cartoon, right? Um, so he, I think, doesn't admit. So I want to be careful because I haven't, you know, followed him for a very long time. But because I used to do magic myself, I still do magic, but for fun. I guess I don't do magic anymore. But what I'm trying to say is I used to learn magic very passionately, and it was very clear like this guy. And sorry to break the dreams of any kids watching, but not kids, but like kids who grew up with me. Dynamo, the magician, also uses camera tricks a lot. But my point is that he didn't admit at the time that he was using this camera tricks or video editing, and that caused a little bit of like spark between are you doing magic, because same thing happens on a much larger scale with mentalists, because mentalism isn't real. Like nobody can read your mind. Hypnotism is another thing that is shown to be real, and some people will say like okay, it is possible to a degree, but the thing about hypnosis is that it's very much voluntary. Like you cannot be hypnotized against your will. That's not possible. It's basically more to do with just someone very sleepy, you asking someone someone is very sleepy and you're asking them to do something for you, or like name a number or something like that. That's what hypnosis boils down to be, in my opinion. So hypnosis is not real, at least like what you are thinking of as hypnosis, right? And mentalism is definitely not real. Nobody can read your mind, but a lot of mentalists will pose it as if they can read your mind, right? And that's a sort of the point of mentalism. But the problem is that some people will try to sell other people that they actually can do it, or some people will tell that they can teach other people how to read other people's mind, and that is where it becomes much worse. Not to mention that even if you're not doing it right, unless every time you're doing it you're explicitly mentioning that mentalism is not real, inevitably a lot of people will end up believing that it is real, right? Same with the stuff like black magic. Houdini used to expose a lot of people who used to do spirit and mediums, right? So people who used to communicate with ghosts and stuff like that, he exposed them because I think he got scammed by someone trying to impersonate his mother, like his dead mother. So what was I even talking about? My point is that um the AI comment was pretty funny because I've always thought that right now, to me, one funny thing that AI has done is now when you look at a content that's not made by AI but is very bad quality, right? You still think, is this AI? Even if it is not AI, it's it's sort of like you're clubbing it together, sort of saying that okay, this is still something that I'm not seeing as high quality, right? Or creatively created. Okay, no more AI. No more AI talk. Um, I'm just looking at my channel right now. Very your Briar focused. Every photo, every banner, and everything. Probably should get that changed. um, did I already say some students got caught using AI in our exam that we were doing? That was funny. Um, I'm just like reading some old like notes and stuff that I might like be able to talk about something. Um, yeah, nothing is coming up, and I think 18 minutes. So maybe I'll talk about like one more thing, and then I'll take my leave from you as well. I really right now I want to go through my watch later and see if there is something interesting there. There's this new game called Marathon that has been floating around. So I'm just team based, dude. Can I just say extraction shooter? This genre, I've been hating the idea of it. I, you know what? Let's talk about this for like a little bit. So I'm on the Wikipedia page for extraction shooter right now. It says it's a variant of tactical shooter video game genre defined by the gameplay style of Escape from Tarkov, often player versus environment, so PvPvE. Players are grouped into teams and located to reach an extraction point elsewhere on the map while avoiding the opposing team and non-player character enemies. The player may try to loot the opposing team or other feature on the map for gear, which if they successfully reach the extraction point, they can keep and use to improve their characters. Gameplay is more slow. So see, my issue is, first of all, there are some games here are that were released before this genre was coined. Let me see when the genre itself was coined. 2023, 19th February seems to be the first reference from the people behind PUBG believe extraction shooter is the next big thing. This will piss me off every single time. Like whenever people will say this genre of games will be the next big thing, has never worked out. Literally, the last time it happened was first person shooters. And nobody said that. People just started making them, like copying them. Like literally, that was the last time that this was true. Okay. Uh List of extraction shooter game series. So as I said, The Division, Tom Clancy's The Division. Literally the next game I don't even recognize it. It's called The Cycle Frontier. Unsure. Escape from Tarkov. Escape from Dukov. That's interesting. Arc Raiders, Marathon, which is the one that I just mentioned. Helldivers is Lethal Company not a extraction shooter? I swear it should be cooperative game. Okay, so it's not. I don't even get what's the difference is, honestly. It says it's about scavenging and sort of like survival horror. Yeah, survival horror. Um, Genre is survival. Okay, so why is this? So extraction shooter is where there are two teams. It's so stupid, dude. Like I really, this is one of the first times I think, not one of the first times this has happened so many times. I don't know why I said that, but I really hate like arbitrary genre coining like this. Like, what is the point of this? And people are just making game after game after game. Upcoming revival of the marathon series. What? Interesting. Okay. Anyways, we can go back to my watch later. Um. Okay. I'm just looking through um stuff. A lot of kitten videos, wolf videos. Um. Can I say one thing? This is controversial, but the game is Stray, right? I don't like it, and one of the biggest reason I don't like it is the game doesn't do much well. The story is not very good. The environments are pretty nice, but it also came out like really close to Cyberpunk, right? It it doesn't do movement mechanics very well. It doesn't do enemies very well. It doesn't do puzzle solving very well. What does it do? Like what is it even defined as? What is it even like sold as? So according to the Wikipedia page, okay, first of all, literally the game company studio doesn't even have their own Wikipedia page, which is sad. Okay, so it is an adventure game. Okay, the most vague, uninspiring genre name ever. Again, adventure game. The first, like if we draw it back, Myst is considered to be one of the first adventure games. Not even true, by the way, but it's like sort of shown as that, and it's just a like okay, don't get me started on that. But it's sold as lost and alone, separated from family, a stray cat must untangle an ancient mystery to escape a long forgotten cyber city and find their way home. Isn't the cat gendered? Am I wrong? Okay, anyways. So now, it doesn't do much well in my opinion. It's a very nice like sort of a snack, like a fast food game. I use this term. I don't know if I coined it or I stole it from somewhere, but basically, a fast food game is a game that is fun to play. It doesn't require too much brain. It's quick and it is fun, right? It's just a simple game that you play with friends or alone when you're like bored or something like that, right? Not my cup of tea, right? But it can be fun. So it's that sort of game, right? But even those sort of games need to be something special, right? they need to give you one hook. And the hook for this game is very obvious, which is you play as a cat, right? That's the obvious hook for the game. My issue with that is the main focus of the game. You cannot deny that. But then why does the cat look bad? I don't mean to dunk on the people who modeled the cat, but genuinely, I think the animation and modeling is not very good on the cat. Um, Again, like my biggest issue is um, it's actually published by a pretty well-known studio, right? Before that, they were so literally this studio has not made a game other than this, right? So if it was just a literal an indie studio, even then I would be like, um, probably like that is somewhere where I would be like putting more investment into. But okay, fine. But then why did Annapurna Studio not say like, okay, we want better like I don't know graphics or modeling on the cat or something? This is me just poking fun at them, by the way. I think it's as I said, right? It's not my sort of game, and I wouldn't make this or play this sort of game necessarily. At least not by myself. But it's still it is a game that has an appeal. You know, it is a game that many people love. So there's nothing wrong with that. The reason I mentioned this because in one of my watch later videos, in one of my watch later videos is how speedrunners beat a stray in 47 minutes. It's a series by a guy called Tomato Innes. Um, okay. Yeah, I think that's it for today. Um, you know what? Quickly, I'll just touch on what the adventure game genre is, right? Quote unquote adventure game genre. So I searched adventure game genre, adventure game, Wikipedia. Adventure games are a video game genre in which the player assumes the role of a protagonist in an interactive story driven by exploration and/or puzzle solving. So, what is interactive story? First of all, we'll look into that. Genre's focus on story allows it to draw heavily from other narrative-based media such as literature and film, encompassing a wide variety of genres. Okay, so interactive storytelling, right? Um, so there's this line: interactive storytelling is defined as distinct from interactive fiction, as well as. So, what is interactive fiction? First of all, I'm just interested. Uh, Software simulating environment in which player use text commands to control the character influence. Okay, are there any examples? Okay, this is just like text adventure. So this is just completely different. Um, as well as video games with a strong narrative focus on Mass Effect, Mass Effect, Bioshock, etc. By user agency and open-ended narrative. Okay. Uh, Creators of Facade. I can't believe this is mentioned. Um, if you don't know, it's a what do I even call it? It's a, okay. So according to the Wikipedia page, it's 2005 interactive storytelling video game, but I wouldn't call it a video game. It's more like a, as they themselves call it, interactive drama. But even that is giving it too much credit. Okay. So let's see what examples adventure. So this is interactive storytelling, right? And there is Facade, Hefty, Libraries of So these are games that I've like barely heard of. Um, so what, these are systems. Okay. Very bare bones. Okay, now we go back to adventure game, right? So again, interactive story driven by exploration, I don't know, puzzle solving. What are the examples? Um, Subgenres. Okay, I've reached subgenres without any examples so far. Walking simulators, visual novels, interactive films, hybrid. Oh my goodness, is there no example or something? Um, Lists of graphic adventure games, text. Yeah, like this is Mystery House, Board. Jesus. Is this that game? Okay, no, it's a different game. There was a game called Your Savior Jesus or something like that. Very funny. Okay. I literally am not even able to find good list where I can be like, okay, these I can give my opinion on like, okay, this is a good list or bad list, or this is a video game adventure games or not. Shenmue. Okay, Shenmue is a good example of adventure game. So I'll explain you what adventure games are, widely accepted. So first of all, it's already a mess, right? For example, fighting games. Fighting games, when you think of them, you might be thinking, okay, people were shooting people or you're punching people and stuff like that, right? But fighting games is very specifically 2D, or not even 2D, but like player versus player PvP fighting games, two-player fighting games where two people are controlling a character, usually in 2D, but it can be 3D as well. And they have moves and abilities and they fight with each other, right? That's specifically what fighting games mean. But when you search fighting game, right? Like literally, if I search fighting game, you know what? Search top fighting game, top fighting games. What is the okay? I do get like some Street Fighter and stuff, but you can also get like um okay, now it's more like what you should expect. But I swear I used to search this and I would get like Call of Duty or something like that. Okay. Similarly, adventure game is also something that is very specific, but usually people will not know this and just use a different terminology. So what these specifically are is you explore a certain environment and you solve puzzles and you um solve puzzles and progress through an environment, usually revealing some sort of a story. If this sounds very vague, it's because it is. It's not very clear. Like the most agreed upon adventure games are point and click adventure games, the old point and click adventure games. And other than that, nowadays adventure games are it's very confusing because you could say something like Dark Souls is an adventure game. Like if I search right now Dark Souls, or you know what, Elden Ring might be Elden Ring. The only issue with Elden Ring is also it's also a 3D open world game, right? Oh, George R. R. Martin wrote for Elden Ring? I didn't know this. Is this the same guy I'm thinking of? Um, Meow Wolf. Um, yeah, so he wrote for Game of Thrones. I think he is the guy I'm thinking of, like a very well-known writer. Okay, so this doesn't mention adventure, right? I'll look up Dark Souls as well. Dark Souls. So this also doesn't mention. So I'm looking at the series directly, and this also doesn't mention the adventure side of it. But I would argue that these are also adventure games, just happen to have a lot of different elements as well, right? So the naming is very weird, but um, yeah, I'm not sure how to end this. So hope you're doing well, and hope to see you soon again. Yeah, bye bye.